Ladies and gentlemen, peace. It's Big John, a.k.a. The Addict, back at y'all with another one. So today's subject, man, we're going to talk about is the new border czar, right? Being that Trump has made a few promises and he wants to, already get started and put some things into place. And this guy that he's picked, right, Mr. Tom Homan, is a bad dude. He's been around a minute, man. And he's probably the no-brainer pick for getting what he needs to get done, right? This guy's been doing that for over 30 years, right? He was the head over ICE, before they tried to get rid of that or whatever, right? And so, and a lot of these people don't like him. AOC and all these other people, they don't like him, man, right? I'm going to show y'all a couple of clips of this dude so y'all know what kind of stuff, how he, what he represents. Y'all check some of this out.
Trump's new cabinet is starting to take shape because overnight, while you were sleeping, he tapped Tom Homan to be his border czar.
Trump saying, quote, "There is nobody better at policing and controlling our borders." Likewise, Tom Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin.
He worked with the president to come up with this job description, so let's hear from him. In his first interview after the major announcement, incoming border czar Tom Homan. Tom, congratulations to you. It's bad for us. We lose you as a contributor. What went into the decision and the position?
Well, look, I've been on this network 4 years complaining about what this administration did to this border. I've been yelling and screaming about it, telling them what they need to do to fix it. So when the president asked me, would you come back and fix it? Of course I have to. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't. So, look, I'm honored the president asked me to come back and help solve this national security crisis. So I'm looking forward to it. And look, I love Fox. I love the family there. But I think that the calling is clear. I got to go back and help because every morning I get up. Every morning I'm pissed off about what this administration did to the most secure border in my lifetime. So I'm going to go back and do what I can to fix it.
So, Tom, let's talk.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody who's willing to do the work. Somebody who's willing to do the job. Somebody who's excited about doing the job. You know what I mean? Somebody who can pay attention and stay focused on, what we have to do to clean up this mess. Because it definitely is a mess, man. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have time for all this emotional back, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a whole lot of people that are pissed off about it. Whole lot of the people on the left, liberals that are going to be really pissed off, man.
The former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who backed his zero tolerance policy, will be his administration's border czar. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote that Homan's areas of control will include the southern and northern borders, all maritime and aviation security. Trump added border czar Homan will be in charge of the deportation of illegal immigrants. Homan touts hardline immigration views and previously vowed to run the biggest deportation force this country has ever seen.
So Zanny, obviously this is going to be a big part of what Donald Trump likely does at the beginning of his administration. He promised mass deportations, historic deportations. The American people heard it every day for about a year and a half and voted for him. So this is going to be one of the first things. And I would guess one of the great challenges would be politically for this possible director to avoid the sort of chaos we saw at the beginning of his first term, where those first 3-4 days were just pictures of airports and other places just absolutely jammed with people, with protests, with chaos.
Hey, well, the one thing about that is that we're going to have some people coming on the side trying to fearmonger once again or try to throw this or try to throw that. But the difference is Trump coming with a plan. He coming with some people that know how to put a plan together. People that are going to figure it out and how to figure out how the best way to go about doing it. Okay? But sometimes you can't worry about all the little bitty preliminary stuff. You just got to do what you got to do. And this current administration put us in that position. They put us in a dangerous position. So,
look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Homan,
look,
please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Homan. He don't get me go beyond his time.
Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. I like when you got people that don't mind speaking directly to other folks. Like, hey, man, you know what I mean? Y'all been putting us on hush for a minute. But guess what? We ain't on no hush. We trying to get some stuff done, and y'all keep trying to sabotage and try to do this here. But look here, I'm going to let you know. Right? I like people like that, man. People that don't mind speaking up and speaking out in the face of all the rest of the people, right?
The witness will suspend.
It says the official recommendation. There were 3 different options presented. The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo?
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their parents.
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Ooh-wee. Look here, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. See, you talk about people would use common sense, right? People that don't mind just letting you know that, hey, yeah, it might have to separate it. You know what I mean? We might have to send all y'all at the same time. It's whatever that needs to be done. You understand what I'm talking about? Because if you're over here in the United States and like you a father or whatever, and you driving and you under the influence, you get pulled over and you got a child in there, you're going to get separated. You're going to jail. And CPS may get called, man, because you put that child's life in danger, man. We can't play no games about this kind of stuff. If we do it to American citizens and we separate, what you think we're going to do to other people? You over here, look, if you didn't come in legally, you broke the law. It's just that simple, right?
Talk
talk about this now. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was out stumping for Bernie Sanders in Iowa. Let's take a listen to what she had to say on Saturday.
Organizing is about tipping people off if you start to see that ICE and CBP are in communities to try to keep people safe. I'm here because Senator Sanders has actually committed to breaking up ICE and CBP.
Tom, your thoughts on that statement?
It's ridiculous. It's an extremely stupid statement made by somebody I never considered real smart anyways. But here's the elected lawmaker. She's a congresswoman standing on a stage telling people how to obstruct ICE, tipping off people that ICE is looking for. And she needs to realize 9 out of 10 of everybody ICE arrested last year was a convicted criminal or pending criminal charges. Let me talk about last year. 137,000 criminals, 2,000 were murders, 12,000 sex offenses, 45,000 assaults, 62,000 drug offenses, 10,000 weapons offenses. And she wants the community to tip these people off. The ICE is in their neighborhood operating. ICE's job is already extremely dangerous. Now she's making it more dangerous. And she's one of these Democrats keep saying, no one's above the law. The president is above the law. We need to impeach the president because he's not above the law. But apparently illegal aliens are above the law because ICE isn't allowed to arrest them. It's a ridiculous statement.
Tom Homan,
it's a dangerous statement.
Yeah. Tom, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct in what he's saying. And of course, I was going to have some type of interference, especially through people like AOC, who, in my opinion, is incredibly dumb. She goes about things incredibly dumb. Her perception of stuff is even dumb. When you got people already doing a dangerous job, why would you want to make their job even more dangerous? Are you part of America or are you part of the other side, right? So, unfortunately, that's the reason why this new administration is going to be coming in, is because it's so many dumb people on the other side making dumb decisions. We shouldn't even have to be going through all this. There was things already in place that should have stayed in place. Y'all should have took them out of place and tried to replace them with some BS. So this is what we're here with.
I got a message. As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home. I got another message. Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
Look here. You think this man ain't serious? This man don't play no games, man. He not doing no tripping, man. He already know his life is in jeopardy. He not tripping about that because he not scared. Everybody ain't scared, man. Some people know they got a job to do and they gonna do it. That man been around 34 years transporting people, and he's good at what he do. He do not sugarcoat. He do not this and that. And look, if you want to come here, cool. We want you here, but we want you here legally. We don't want you overrunning, blowing up our inflation, getting a whole bunch of free assistance for whatever reason. You understand what I'm saying? No, it don't work like that, man. Because you got people that are Americans that are over here suffering that ain't getting some of the benefits and some of the stuff that y'all been getting. You understand what I'm saying? No, we're not doing that no more. It's time to go. Pack your shit. Pack your stuff. It's time to go. You know what I mean? Look, he let the cartels, he letting everybody know, look, that's a done deal, especially dealing with America. That's a done deal. So.
Also, you worked the border before, went over to ICE. You've done it all. What does the process look like? Because I think some people get the impression that you're shooting from your hip, but you know what you're doing here, right?
I know exactly what I'm doing. And look, this is the second time I came out of retirement for this president. And because it matters. And look, I was a Border Patrol agent. I wore that uniform, and I'm proud that I wore that uniform. So, and I was an ICE agent. I was the first ICE director that actually came up through the ranks. So the 20,000 men and women that work for me I didn't ask them to do anything. I didn't do myself because I was one of them. So look, I know the border, and I know there's a lot of great patriots. Look, I shut my phone off Friday night because I couldn't handle the phone calls, the texts, and emails from thousands of ICE agents and Border Patrol agents excited about the rumor I'm coming back. But more importantly, that thousands of retired agents, retired Border Patrol agents, retired military that want to come in and volunteer to help this president secure the border and do the deportation operation. So I've been off the grid for 3 days just because I couldn't handle all the phone calls, and plus all the death threats rolling in. My family's not at home right now because that's starting. But that's something we're going to deal with. They're not going to bully me away. They're not going to shut me up. They're not going to make me go away. This is the biggest national security vulnerability this nation has seen since 9/11. We have to fix it.
The man said that he will not be bullied. Did you hear him? He said he ain't going to be bullied, man. He going to do his job. He going to do it to the fullest extent of the law. Period. He not being all sentimental and emotional and this and that. And if y'all is, get out the way. That means you're not for the job. You're not there for that. Right now, it's about securing our country and securing our borders and securing our people. And you have to be serious about a job like that. You can't be playing no game. You have to be serious. You got to be straightforward. You can't be compromised or none of that kind of stuff.
And it's one of the reasons Kamala Harris lost and Donald Trump won. So Tom, you just mentioned deportations. I know during the last Trump administration, when you were there, they did have the large-scale worksite, essentially raids, where they would go into a place and there would be hundreds of people who were in the country illegally. I know on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago, you said that those would continue under Donald Trump in the next administration. What do you have planned? Well, I know you don't want to give away the whole game book, but you do have deportations, mass workplace stuff planned, any other kind of category of deportations of interest?
Look, as the president said on stage many times, which I agree with 100%, it's going to be the same it was during his first administration, which is just a hell of a lot more of them because 10 million people have entered this country illegally under the Biden administration, or they actually let into this country, even though it's violation of federal law, what they've been doing, the abuse of the parole authority. But look, I've been clear, President Trump's been clear. Public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority because they have to be. They pose the most danger to this country. So we're going to prioritize those groups, those who always have final orders, those that had due process at great taxpayer expense, and the federal judge says you must go home, and they didn't. They became a fugitive. So, and as part of worksite operations have to happen. Here's why, Steve. Where do we find most victims of sex trafficking and forced labor trafficking? At work sites. And the Biden administration shut down work sites. On one point, they say we care about sex trafficking and human trafficking. Then they shut down work site enforcement, which is one of the main areas we find the victims.
Yeah, see, the funny thing about that is you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? Yeah, on one hand, y'all say, well, this and that about the kid, but then y'all don't want people to do their job. You understand what I'm saying? What people fail to realize is a lot of these places where people are working, you got people that are actually doing like slave labor, man. Y'all realize that we've had thousands and thousands of kids come up missing that are caught up in some of this, stuff where they just working them. They it's like a slave trade. Okay, there's so many different levels to this stuff to where you have to be zero tolerance. You have to come in and say, no, we're not having it. We're not doing it. We're not doing that here. We're not doing, Part of the problem in this society is that we have a lot of sneaky underground stuff dealing with kids. You got a lot of sex trafficking. You got a lot of different stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that's getting ready to come to the light about stuff like that, right? Yeah. Some of these tapes, some of these people, some of these stars, some of all this other stuff. It's about to come to the light. We're about to clean it up. And it's dangerous, right? Because it's a lot of people that gets exposed in the process of the cleanup. People that y'all least expect, you know what I mean? We could be right in the middle of sex trafficking and stuff like that, right? People trafficking, getting labor, free labor, and all this other kind of stuff. So Look here. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and share, and I'm going to keep this news coming at y'all, right? Till next time. Peace, peace.